Track 34, Hull FC 10, a brilliant win once again for the Robins against their nearest neighbours. It was all over by half-time, but you've got to give FC credit. They came back in the second half fighting. I thought that first period, it was two teams at opposite ends of the spectrum, wasn't it? You had a KR team that was up for it. It was a derby. They ran hard, they ran true. And an FC team that, quite frankly, just wasn't at the races for 40 minutes. Where was the heart? Where was the desire? And I think that really was best. The best example of that was the kicks, the kick chase. I mean, the kicking into a headwind in that first period, and the chase was laboured. It really was. There was no cohesion. There was no commitment. It was really poor. They were having missed tackles for fun. The defensive line was fragmented. I mean, it was just not good enough. I mean, you talk about, the South Pole and the North Pole ice sheets, cracking and melting. Well, I'll tell you now, there was cracks and melting going all over the place in that Hull FC defence in the first half. Unbelievable stuff. Absolutely not going to get you the 2 points in any game if you turn up like that. Really, 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 really poor. But that said, KR were outstanding. I thought some of their attacking phases were very, very easy on the eye. The try of Evans, a beautiful break. Mikey Lewis back on the inside. There goes Narlin for it. Lewis's try, very reminiscent of the one at the MKM, that one last season for Mikey Lewis. Joe Burgess getting a brace, and I thought Joe Burgess perhaps having one of his better games in a Hull KR shirt, possibly his best. 2 very well taken tries, a very nice assist for Petter Hiku. 22 carries in the game, 189 metres. He had 5 clean breaks and also 5 tackle busted, Joe. He had a brilliant game for KR. Don't you worry about that. Some really, really solid play in that first period for Hull KR, but like I said, very, very easy on the eye. I thought Niall Evans was unplayable in the first period. Some of his punching through the line was quite simply outstanding. He is just in great form, isn't he, Evans? And when you consider, yet again, a fullback with not a single error in his game, outstanding performance from Niall Evans. I think Mikey Lewis has got to cut out this stupid, immature, in-the-facey bit. I mean, after that Burgess try, no call for it at all. Mikey's a genius. We love Mikey Lewis here at Super League Raw. I like a bit of verbal in the right parts of the field, but come on, Mikey. You don't need to do that. And at some point, it's going to get him into trouble because it's going to spark a fight and he's going to be sitting down for 10 minutes and that could change your game. So, Mikey, you just need to cut that out of your game. It's not required for me. But 28-0 at half-time, I felt it was going to become an absolute rout. I really, really did. But what do I know? And, out of adversity comes opportunity. And by God, did Jack Charles take his opportunity. 45 minutes in, and then Danny Houghton goes off, the talisman for Hull FC. And you're thinking, oh, dearie me, 28-0 down. Now Houghton's off. This is going to be a big problem. But then on comes Jack Charles. And for me, what a fantastic performance from Charles. Very, very mature for his young years, very reminiscent of Leon Hayes at the Warrington Wolves. And I think they've just got to give him his head. If you're good enough, you're old enough. It's as simple as that. And I've seen more creativity from Jack Charles than I've seen from New Brown in the first 6 rounds of the season. New Brown has had 1 assist this season for Hull FC. I mean, Charles comes on, he gets an assist, and really he should have had 2, because if McIntosh didn't showboat, he would have had 2. I thought Charles was, really, really solid. Very pleasing to see young talent being given a head. And I think Tony Smith now has just got to leave him in because he fully deserves to be in. What a cameo from the player. 35 minutes of sheer beauty from Mr. Charles. And, let's be fair, they really did give it a go in that second half. The Ockenbaugh, charged down, very well executed and a good try. But on the topic of Ockenbaugh, where is he? Is he hiding too much? Yes, he's doing his job indeed, 31 tackles. But he only got the ball in his hand 3 times in this game and ran for 58 metres. And when you consider 30 of them was the charge down, that's just not good enough. Compare that to Liggy Sow on the other side. Liggy Sow 14 times, 101 metres from Liggy. When Liggy did 26 tackles, indeed, that's not good enough. The big man on the right-hand side needs to be doing more for me for FC. It has to be said, let's get the flags out. Franklin Pelly finished the game. That's got to be considered a positive, hasn't it? SASA for me grew into the game. He was getting a lot of pelters from John Wells in commentary, but he ended the game on 108 metres from 17 carries, and some of those were pretty bruising runs as well. So SASA doing all right. Pele, again, he put a couple of big shots on and got into the game a little bit, but the jury's still out as far as Pele's concerned. Cam Scott, I'm sorry, FC fans, but how can Cam Scott be leaving Hull FC at the end of this season? If the rumours are true and Cam Scott goes to Wake, oh dearie me. For me, one of the most consistent players this season, in fact, in any season, Cam Scott, in the same mould of the Jordan Lanes and the Joe Caters of this world as far as FC is concerned. And yeah, for me, they can ill afford to let him go. Took his try, well done. So yeah, 28 points to 10. They're bringing themselves back into the game, but then comes in Kalepi Tanginoa Tanginoa. Beautiful Tanginoa try, typical Kalepi Tanginoa try. When they brought in Whitbread and when they brought in Tanginoa from Wakefield last year, it was a shrewd bit of business from Willie Peters, and it's paying dividends for them this season. I mean, it was, like I say, it was all over at half time. A bit of spirit shown in the second half. Charles, for me, has to be giving his head as far as Hull FC is concerned. But yeah, I mean, FC at the moment are really are struggling, and you just think to yourself, right, when is their first, well, they've got a first win against London, but when is their real seismic win coming? They've got Huddersfield Giants next week at home. That's a massive game, probably for both teams. But if they was to lose at home to Huddersfield Giants, wow, is all I would say to that. As for Hull FC, well, they've got London Broncos next week, which, let's not take London for granted, but I think, KR be thinking, yeah, we can keep the momentum going. We can keep the winning run going. Right, who are we going to go for the 3-2-1? Well, the 3 is very simple. It has to be Niall Evalds. Evalds was outstanding. Like I've already said, no errors in this game. 25 times Niall got his hands on the ball in this game. On 199 metres he ran. 3 clean breaks in the game. He ran the show in the first half. Some of his running was absolutely just first class. Quality. Since they put him back into the fullback position, he's just become a brand new player. I love watching Niall Evalds. Quality player, and well done to him. He has to get the 3 points this week. The 2 points I'm going for is Joe Burgess. That's right, Joe. Outstanding performance from Joe. 22 carries in this, 189 metres, 2 tries, a wonderful, selfless assist for Hiku. He could have gone himself, I think, but no, passes it to Hiku. Fantastic team spirit. Played really well, Joe Burgess, and he's cementing himself now on that right-hand side for me. Well done to Joe. Really good. And he got 5 clean breaks and 5 tackle busts as well, just for good measure. So you've got to say Joe Burgess was on fire. Before I tell you maybe the 1.2, I have to give a note in dispatches to Elliot Minchella. He did 38 tackles in D in this game. Outstanding from the captain. One of them, of course, when Texoy thought he was got away for a try, and there was Elliot to bring him down. I thought Elliot was outstanding. Ryan Hall, another 18 carries, 132 metres from backfield. He brings the ball out brilliantly, Ryan Hall. It was another typical performance from him. Great performance from Opachik. Brought in, of course, for the injured Oliver Gildart. He didn't let anybody down. 101 metres from 14 carries from Opachik in this game. Real solid performances there. And, of course, Tanginoa. Tanginoa with his try. 12 carries, 103 metres from Kalepi Tanginoa. So the 1 point, though, goes, having said to all of that, the 1 point has to go to Petr Hiku once more. Why? Yes, he scored a try that was easy on the eye. It was all about Burgess, but he also made 3 tries for his teammates in this game. He ran 21 times for 144 carries. He broke the line on 5 occasions. He got a clean break in the game. So Petr Hiku, for me, has to get a point this week over those hard workers in the centre field. So there you go. 3 for Evalds, 2 for Burgess, 1 for Petr Hiku. Do you agree with that? What did you make of the game, Hull FC fans? What are you making of Jack Charles? You have to keep him in the squad now, surely. He has to start at number 7 next week, surely. What are your thoughts on that? Where's Davy Litton? That's a question I keep asking at the start of the season. I went big on Litton. I thought this could be a massive season for him. Can't even get in the squad. Is he injured? If he is, I'm sorry, I'm going to wear that. But I thought I saw him in the 21-man squad. So where is Davy Litton? Why is he not being fancied by Tony Smith? Knowing Tony Smith, is it an attitude problem? Because let me tell you, Tony doesn't back down on things like that. You have to have the right attitude and application to play for Tony Smith. There's something going on behind the scenes. But I find it very odd that Davy Litton isn't playing at the moment. Come on, FC fans, let us know what's going on with Davy Litton. But this one was all about KR. Congratulations to KR. Another very comfortable win, it has to be said, against the old enemy. 34 points to 10. That's been in the sheds, and we'll be back later in the day as we look over the Wigan and Saints derby at the Totally Wicked Stadium. Bye for now.